Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to go through all the materials I use. I've been getting lots of questions about the colors I have and the brushes and the paper, so I thought I'd give you a little insight into what I have. The first thing I'm going to share with you is the paper. This is the paper I am constantly talking about. It's Arches watercolor paper, cold press, 140 pounds. 100% cotton. I think that definitely makes a difference. This is great paper. It can get a little expensive depending on where you're getting it from. But what I usually do is I usually wait for Michael's to have a 50% off coupon, and then I go there and I buy it for 50% off. But there are other places, if you're in Toronto, Canada, they have this paper at Curry's Art Store. They do have it on Amazon, so I suggest you look there. But yes, this is great paper. Definitely worth the money if you're looking to produce things to sell or give to people. If you're just practicing, I suggest you use something cheaper. Like I started out with Canson paper. It's a lot less textured, which means the watercolor doesn't really soak into it. It kind of just sits on top of it. So you're going to get a different outcome than you would with high quality paper. But if you're just practicing your technique and your shapes and your florals or whatever you're doing, I suggest going with cheaper paper to start. So yeah, that is the Arches watercolor paper I use and I always talk about. Next, my brushes. So I got 3 of these brushes at a watercolor workshop that I attended I want to say 3 years ago. They're Princeton snap brushes. They aren't that expensive. Again, I got them at Curry's Art Store in Toronto. But they do have them on Amazon as well. And I think they're different for each size, but I remember seeing one on there for like $7, $6. And I think that's great for what they are. These are the ones I use all the time and I love them, and I haven't really tried anything else. So these are the sizes I have. I have a size 16, 12, 6, 4, and a 2 round brush. You don't need all these sizes. I would suggest maybe getting either a 12 or 16 for your big brush, and a size 2 for detail. Size 6 is good for some medium-sized watercolor florals. You don't need it, but if that's what you want, I would suggest that one over the 4. I think it's just a better size, but yeah, those are the sizes I have. Okay, so I'm gonna go through the colors of paints that I have. I have a lot of colors. You do not need this many colors of paint, trust me. I think I started out with 5 and then it became an addiction and I just fell in love and I just kept buying more. I did not buy them all at once. I'd buy them one at a time, usually with a coupon from Michael's, but these are all the colors I have. Now, if I were to give a suggestion of colors to start out with, I would start out with turquoise, which is my favorite blue, cadmium yellow hue, my favorite yellow, and permanent rose. Okay, it's a really nice pink. So you can actually make tons of colors with just those 3. I think in my giveaway video, I did an example, and you can make tons and tons of colors with just those 3 colors using different amounts of each color. Anyway, so if I were to pick, I would say those 3 are great to start out with. For florals, the ones that I tend to use the most are mauve, sap green, oh, can you see these? Yeah. Cadmium yellow hue again, turquoise, permanent rose, Hooker's green dark, you see that? And indigo I really like a lot too for other things. So those are 6 colors that I really, really like. You could get away with just these 5, and like I said before, just these 3 to start out with. I really enjoy those. These are the Cotman watercolors, which are more the student grade watercolors. I do have these ones, which are the professional ones. I got them in a watercolor kit from an Instagram artist, Jenna Rainey. She was selling these watercolor kits and I just had to have them. So I do have these professional grade paints. Now, as you can see, they're significantly smaller and they are significantly more expensive. While they're probably better quality in the long run to make your work last decades, I personally don't see too much of a difference in quality when I'm painting. You know, some of these colors are a bit more intense, which is great, but I don't always need that. And I really just like these ones, and they are cheaper. So if you are just starting out, I suggest going with these or even cheaper paints just to start out. But once you work your way up and you want to spend a bit more money, I say the Cotman brand is perfect. Okay, the next thing I'm going to show you is my heat tool. You've probably seen me use this a lot in my videos. I use this to speed up the drying process, which is why I use it in my videos, so I don't bore you to death by just waiting for things to dry. So this is what I use. I got it off a website called Simon Says Stamp about 3 years ago, but they do carry them in Michael's stores, and I'm sure they carry them online anywhere. Just search heat tool. Now, the only downside I'd say about using a heat tool is that it can warp your paper, but if you tape your paper down to your table or something else that's hard and then use it, it should be okay. Another thing I use a lot is my Finetec palette, which I got maybe off Amazon a few years ago. It has all these awesome gold and silver watercolor paints that I use for fine detail, lettering, lots of different stuff, but it's awesome and I suggest you get one of those if you are interested. And another paint I like to use, which I've shown you in my videos, is Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White Ink. I've used it for lettering and actually calligraphy with a, oh my gosh, what are they called? Calligraphy pen. Dip pen, whatever, you know. I've used it for lettering, detail on my animals. I use it a lot and I love it. That I got at Curry's Art Store in Toronto, but you can also order it off Amazon. Any other materials? I would say my favorite pens that I use just to do little black detail are my Micron pens, size 05 and 01. Those are my favorite for black detail. And that's about it. Yep, those are my materials. So I will leave a full list of all the colors I have in the description below of all my paints. But remember, if you're on a budget, do not buy them all. I've bought them over time and because I've had an obsession. And also I usually do it when I have a coupon from Michael's or wherever. But yeah, so those are all my materials. If you have any questions, please ask me in the comments below. I will try my best to answer them all. And thank you guys so much for watching. I just have to say that I am so blessed to have such an amazing audience of viewers, and you guys are so positive and so kind, and you guys inspire me every day to do these videos, and I just want to thank you guys so much. And that's about it. Have a great day, guys. Bye. I feel like I ramble too much. Do I ramble too much? I ramble too much. It's okay.